For decades, the video game industry has had three main centers of power: Japan, the United States, and Europe. Think Nintendo, PlayStation, Rockstar, and Ubisoft. But right now, there is a massive shift happening. A new player has entered the arena, and they aren't just aiming to compete, they are aiming to dominate. The sleeping giant has woken up. Today, we are looking at how China is systematically taking over the $200 billion global gaming industry, moving from mobile cash grabs to creating some of the most hyped blockbusters on the planet. To understand where China is going, we have to look at where they started. You might not realize it, but China is already the biggest gaming market in the world by revenue. But for a long time, that power was almost entirely based on mobile gaming. Giants like Tencent and NetEase became absolute titans by mastering free-to-play games in their home market. We're talking about games like Honor of Kings and PUBG Mobile, which generate billions of dollars a year. This gave Chinese companies an almost unlimited war chest of cash. Initially, the Western world ignored them, thinking they only knew how to make mobile pay-to-win games or clones of existing titles. But that cash allowed them to level up, fast. And this is where the real takeover begins. Chinese developers got tired of being ignored by hardcore gamers. They decided to take that mobile money and dump it into premium AAA experiences for PC and console. The bridge between these two worlds was Genshin Impact by MiHoYo. It proved a Chinese studio could make a beautiful, massive, globally successful game that wasn't just a cheap mobile title. It opened the floodgates. Now we are seeing the next phase. The biggest example that broke the internet is Black Myth Wukong. When the first gameplay dropped, people couldn't believe it was real. The graphics rival anything from Sony's top studios, the combat looks incredibly tight, and it's rooted deeply in Chinese mythology. But it's not just Wukong. Look at the God Slayer. It's an upcoming open-world action RPG that looks like China's answer to Elden Ring or The Witcher, mixing high fantasy with Chinese folklore. Then you have stunning projects like Project the Perceiver or Where Winds Meet. These aren't cheap knockoffs. These are games with massive budgets, incredible martial arts combat systems, and unique historical settings that Western audiences haven't seen before. They are positioning themselves to win Game of the Year awards. So, they have the mobile money, and now they have the AAA games in development. But there is a third prong to this strategy: acquisition. Remember Tencent? They aren't just making games, they are buying the infrastructure of the gaming world. They own Riot Games, the makers of League of Legends. They own 40% of Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite and the Unreal Engine. They have invested in hundreds of Western studios. Furthermore, these new Chinese studios are hiring top-tier talent away from Western companies like Ubisoft, Rockstar, and Blizzard to lead their new projects. They are importing the expertise they need to conquer the console market. The era of dismissing Chinese developers is over. Within the next 5 years, we are going to see a gaming landscape where Shanghai and Beijing are just as important as Tokyo and Los Angeles. But what do you think? Are you excited to be more AAA titles from China, or are you skeptical about this sudden rise in quality? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the industry, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.